Okay, I told you I was going to come right back. So we've got our cover. Nothing on the front yet, nothing on the back. We still have to decorate that. But this, and it's going to go here. All right, and then my plan was just to glue that down. So let's see what we've got going on here when we glue that. Okay, that's not too bad. What I'm not liking is see how that's kind of rolled in the spine right there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's kind of off, and that might be the way that I have glued them. I do believe that it might be. I don't know if that has dried so much that I can't. Probably the way that I glued them, but see if I can mess with them and move them just a little bit. Let's see. I think, no, I just think that's how it's going to be. And that's okay. That's just how it will be. So I think what we want to do with this pocket, I think it's fun that it's got, you know how envelopes, they all have this fun stuff. So what if we drew some sort of, I think just to reinforce where this is going to open, what I think I want to do is I want to cut down and then fold and glue that. And then I can fold and glue this on the inside. And we'll have some of the blue showing. But yeah, it needs to be reinforced because, like I said, this is pretty flimsy paper. These are cheap envelopes, and that's quite all right. They don't go through the mail. They're not that sort of thing. So just gonna cut down. Okay, let's see. How far did I cut? Well, let's measure. Let's measure. I like this ruler because I can see the measurements. So that is 2 1/4. 2 1/4. Okay. So I'm gonna go over here. Down to there. 2 1/4. All right. Fold that down. Okay. Now if that gets, if I just glue it there, that's also a little tuck spot. That's kind of cool. Okay. And then gluing that down to reinforce the edge. If that's the case, I think I want to make that shorter. Yeah. So let me get that glued. Let me glue that. All right. First, I'm going to take this off because there's a sticky strip there. And that is the end of that glue stick. I'm going to dig it out. Okay. That is not, come on, Tanya, that's not straight. You're not straight, girl. Come on. Ah, that's better. That's better. Okay, so like that. I think maybe we'll put something decorative on that edge. I don't feel like digging the glue out of the glue stick right now, so I'm just gonna go now. Okay, that's it. Like those screw-on lids, they're kind of obnoxious. We're just gonna go back to the beacon. Glue that down. Glue, 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 glue. Okay. Now, I think this needs some inking along the edge of there. Let's put a piece of scrap paper. Just yeah, that's good. All right, and then I want to do this as well. Turn this so I can get my hands going in the right direction. Nope. I think we need a quarter rounder. Put the lid on your glue. Okay. Nope, wrong drawer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that looks kind of cute. Let's fix that. And inking. I think the blue is a nice addition in here. And I had already saved some of these things, you know, blue. So I think I like it. Get that out of, and that out of the way. And that. Okay, so let's make this a tuck spot. So we're only going to glue just here, here. Okay. Okay. That down. Probably going to squish out. I'm bad about putting too much glue. Did any of you use too much glue? Like, I'm really bad about it. About using way, way too much glue. So, anyway. All right. So now we have a little thing here. We have a tuck spot. Whoop. Don't pull the glue loose. All right. Now, I think what I'm going to do I glue that down solid or do I leave it loose? I think I'm not going to take the chance of gluing it all the way to the spine. I'm going to leave a gap. So I'm going to draw myself a line again. So I remember not to put glue there. It's a little closer than the others. There, it's got to be all beacon because my glue stick died. Okay, I have other glue sticks. I just want to take time to open the package. I'm being lazy. I get busy, get in the zone, and I just don't. I don't want to take time to open a package because packages they take scissors and they ruin your fingernails and they oh my goodness, you know. Let's make sure we have it right side up. Okay, and I'm gonna line that up there, just the edge. Those pages are not straight. Those envelope pages are not straight, but you know, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so that's there. Now, I feel like that needs to dry before I can manipulate this and figure out what's going on. So to hold all this down and make sure that it dries really well, we're going to throw some gumbo on there. Gumbo. That's an LSU, Louisiana State University yearbook. I have 3 of these that I thrifted. And 1950, 1942, and 1938, I think. So stay tuned. You may see these reappear, but I love them as weights. I'm going to let this dry for a while, and I will be back. All right, I told you I would be back, and it's actually the next morning. I was checking some of my video while this was drying, and I realized that my phone battery was basically dead. And also I had lost the daylight because it was in the evening. And today we are cloudy and overcast here in South Louisiana, but it's still better light than I had last night. So we're going to continue. Just let me tidy up here a bit while we're doing this. And I apologize for the length of this video. You know, I wanted to create this live and not do too much. I've tried to cut out some things and speed them up where I could, but it's still going to be well over 45 minutes. So I apologize for that. And if any of you are sticking with me to the end, I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out. And I'm not going to insult your intelligence by telling you what to do with the YouTube buttons. I think you know what to do. And if you feel like pressing any of them, I greatly appreciate that. So we're going to move forward. We're going to pick up the gumbo, not putting it in the refrigerator, but picking the gumbo up. And then we're going to see what I've got here and see if what I'm trying to do has worked out. All right, going to put this back over on the bookshelf where I keep it over here. And let's see what we've got. All right, so this is where we are, and that's crooked just because that's crooked, but it's fine. It's okay. All right, so this is glued down very securely, and the idea is with gluing these the way that I have done them is that it will, in theory, everything will lay flat. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That it will lay flat when I open it up. This makes it easy to work on. I've got nice thick foundations for doing each one of my prompts. Oh, I am pretty excited with that. Now, how am I going to glue that one down? All right, so we're gonna. I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna clip it. I'm gonna clip it on there. Let's get those maker's clips back out, and then let's see. Oh, better yet, I've got clothespins. They'll reach further, I think. So if I say I'm gonna glue this down right there, and still not there, then see what happens. All right, I think we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. So again, I'm gonna my pencil. I'm gonna draw myself a line so that I don't put glue in the wrong place. Now it gets really skinny down here, but we're gonna trust. We're just gonna trust that it's gonna be okay. I think it will be. I think it will be. If I need to add some sort of embellishment or something here to help hold that down, we'll do it. We'll see how strong it is when I get the glue on here. Okay. Not really going past that line, but I want to get glue down here. Of course, again, trying not to get too much glue, which I have a bad habit of doing. So, there we go. I remember, hey, congratulate me. I remember to put the lid back on the glue. Okay, so I want to get that straight as I can, and it's pretty well lined up to reveal my leaves here that I wanted to reveal. So that's going to need a few minutes to dry. So I'm going to turn the camera off, let that dry, and I will be right back.
We had some technicalities with the sound in this section, so I'm going to voice it over. And I set my little box of goodies on top of that last part that I glued inside of the front cover. And at this point, it had dried long enough that I felt like we could lift that up and go ahead and look at the journal and see whether the plan had come together, whether it was actually going to stay flat when it was folded out, whether it was going to bind up. I took the opportunity while it was drying to cut out some of those little goodies from the Scrappy 8 graphic that I had back at the beginning of part 1. So those are set aside for now. And as I was getting ready to do this, I was like, is this going to work? I'm showing you right here how the way that I glued those envelope pages together, it was really difficult to get those squared up. And so it's skewed there in the spine, but it opens and closes fine. And it's not a big deal for this journal as it was an experiment. So I was really excited when I opened this up. I had nice, wonderful, sturdy pages to use to do my prompts on top of, whether I do them directly onto the pages or I put something else on top. It every page when I opened it out, it laid flat. Although the edges aren't lined up exactly, that's okay. Like I said, this was an experiment. I know that this method works, and that's really exciting. Back here at the back, I'm showing you how this pocket goes all the way to the end of that envelope. That could be problematic for losing things if I put them into the pocket, or if I let them go all the way through there. If I close the journal up, I would be bending things that were caught in the spine. So I'll need to go in with a paintbrush and close that up with some glue in the bottom. But you guys don't need to see that part. I can do it off camera. If you'll notice, my shots are much better because the stand for my camera came in, which I was very excited. I meant to tell you that earlier in the video and I forgot. So I'm just going to take my little snippets there that I cut out and put them in the pocket so they're conveniently there to use for later. Probably decorate that back edge inside the cover by the pocket. In the front, we'll do some decorating as well as on the outside of the video. And this initial building of the journal just got so long that I split it into two sections. That's why there's a part one and a part two video. The first one's about 30 minutes. The second one's a little less than 20. So I hope you'll join me for both. And I also hope that you will join me for part three because we have yet to decorate uh, the outside of this journal. So, peace and wholeness to you all. Shalom, and I'll see you again soon.